Hello everyone and welcome to another random bits and pieces segment from my brain, and today sit a while for we are playing some more franchise Hockey Manager 6 as part of the Ottawa Senators. October wasn't too kind for us. October of 2000, that is. We started the season really poorly, then we kind of turned things around as the month went along. Overall, I'm a little bit disappointed with the month, so I have put a few of my players on the trade block. Again, I'm not a big believer in trading too early like that in the season. I will say that there's a guy that I was very interested in well, I think I'll show you. I always like just talk about it and never show. So I went, into here and I look at the trading block, and then I saw a guy that's a 3-star player that I would like to add to the team. So here he is. I saw Sandis Ozolinsh, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. Sandis Ozolinsh, I can try maybe to get him and everything. He would be a perfect, guy to play on the power play and whatnot. And he's on the block, 3 stars. He's only 28 and everything. And I was like, oh, that all looks great. And then I was like, well, I mean, he's injured, but it's a yellow cross, so he's about to be healthy, right? And then I mouse over it, and then I saw severe calf laceration. He's gonna be hurt with it for 2 to 3 months. So that's 2 to 3 months of him either playing with it or not. And then when he's playing, he probably has a chance of re-injuring himself. So I said, yeah, you know what? I don't think so. So, I'm not going to trade for Sandis Ozolinsh. That would have been great. That might be why Boston is putting him on the trade block. That would have been a great addition, but yeah, that's not going to happen. Not with a 2 to 3 month day-to-day injury. So we are going to be starting the month at home with 2 home games against the Rangers and the Blue Jackets. Blue Jackets is a brand new team that just joined the league. They are in the Western Conference. It's going to take a while before they join the East. And that's pretty much what's going on right now. So not really moving. We're healthy. I've put a bunch of guys on trading block. One of them being Tim Thomas. He has not been playing very well. Doesn't mean I'm going to get rid of him for sure, but let's see if somebody offers me something great that I cannot offer. I still remember that Brian McCabe for Rob Murphy trade that happened like months ago in real life, and I still remember it. That was a great trade for me. So who knows? So let's go ahead and advance that, and we will face the blue shirts first. First, we have to see how Rod Brydon feels about me. Open ice leads to a productive night for John Sim. Oh, John Sim, of all people, had 4 assists in a game against Columbus. Wow. There was no stopping Matt Sundin, who had a hat-trick 3 goals against the Canucks, 7-0 trouncing. Rod Brydon is very happy, even though we went. Okay, so when we're winning, when we have winning months, you're just satisfied. When we're having a losing month, you're very happy. You're a very tough man to gauge, Rod Brydon. Alright, so we are sitting in the 9th spot in the East, and the Rangers are right on top of us. We have the exact same record, so not sure why they would be considered above us. Probably because it's the Rangers. Alright, so... Oh, the King has entered the universe. So Henrik Lundqvist is the backup to Mike Richter. So Mike Richter is still a very capable goaltender. He has 3.5 stars. Henrik Lundqvist is 18, so he's only an alpha star talent right now. But he has a 5-star potential, as he probably should. Martin Skula is hurt. He's going to miss 1 to 2 months for the Rangers. And then on D, they have Ken Klee, Brian Leach, Joe Merdzig, Dominic Lavwissel kicking around, Andy Delmore, Dmitry Yuskevich, and Sergei Zubov. So that's OKD. That third pair might be a little iffy, but the rest of the D is pretty decent. Oleg Kavasha, Sergei Varlamov, Mark Messier, Martin Sonnenberg, Bulatov, Savard, Morrison, Waite, York, Granato, Ulmer, Novoseltsov, Kovalev, and Sundstrom. The offense is okay. Mark Messier is only a 3-star player anymore. He's 39, so... Alright, we can beat the Rangers. Let's go. Alright, the Rangers are going to go with Mike Richter in net. We are going with Mike Dunham. And we won 3-2, playing for 500, I believe, for the first time of the season. So, that's pretty good indeed. We outshot the Rangers 35-23. Magnus Arvidsson was the first star of that game with an assist. Doug Waite was the second star with an assist. And Matt Cullen, the third star with a goal. We had 12,601 people in attendance. The Rangers scored 23 seconds in. Mark Messier scored, but then 46 seconds later, Sheldon Souris scored on a power play from Alfredson and Yashin. It was 1-1 after 1. We traded goals in the second again. So this time Matt Cullen scored, assisted by Arvidsson and Guerin. And then the Rangers tied it up. It was tied at 2. And the game winner was Alexei Yashin on the power play from Marian Osa at 12:08 of the third period. Was 3-2 cents, stayed that way. Marian Osa out of lineup, listed as day-to-day. What kind of day-to-day injury is it? Is it a 2 to 3 month day-to-day injury, or from dehydration? Okay, well, stop drinking beer before the games, Marian. You're gonna be fine. Day-to-day. Well, hopefully game available. Okay, we're just gonna hope that we're just gonna give you a IV of fluids and you're gonna be all good to go. Brian Giunta extends his goal streak to 5 games. He scored a goal against the Leafs. Alright, so Troy Mallet and Yeremeyev are available on waivers. Not gonna go for either or. Jeremy Roenick has accomplished 900 points in his career. That's pretty good. So he scored a goal against Detroit. He's 30. He's a 3-star player. So Jeremy Roenick is starting to decline a little bit. Suspension over for Steve Chiasson in Detroit. He is back in the lineup. There was no stopping Martin Straka, who had a hat-trick 3 goals against Vancouver. All right. Alright, so we are playing Columbus. Columbus is 6-6-1 this season, so they have almost the same record as us. They played one more game and it was a tie, so they have one more point. We have not played them so far this year, so let's take a look and see how they look like. They don't have any injuries, so it looks like in net they have... Yeah, look at that team. I wish I had that to start the first season when I started in 1992. Like, it's all, 1.5 and 2-star players. So, Manny Fernandez and Manny Legacy in net. So, I guess they have Manny and Manny in net. Both are 2.5-star players. Paul Coffey, Brett Hedican, Jason Willie, Wade Redden, Stefan Robita, Matthias Nordstrom, Sean O'Donnell, and Steve Stales are on D. Pretty decent D. Not world beaters, but definitely decent. Better than some of the established teams I've faced so far, like the Stars, for example. Adam Denmarsh, Andreas Johansson, Dave Laurie, Antti Laaksonen, Craig Darby, Scott Fraser, Craig Janney, Craig McDonald, Russ Courtnall, Ty Domi, Martin Lapointe, Chris Simon, and Chris Nielsen. So, average team, not great, not completely horrible. So I guess that explains their 500 record. Alright, so they're going with Manny Fernandez. In net, we are going with Mike Dunham. And we got Mike Dunham his first shutout of the season, 3-0. Alright, so Ottawa 38 shots, Columbus 20. Zdeno Chara was the first star of the game. He had 2 assists. Matt Cunnan, second star with 2 assists as well. And Bill Guerin, the third star with a goal and an assist. Oh, I think it's the first time that in a regular season game we cracked the 13,000 people in attendance. 13,003. So, alright, so there was no scoring until the second period, where Sheldon Souris scored what was going to be the game winner on the power play from Chara and Datsuk. And then in the third, Marian Osa, even though he's kind of thirsty, scored, assisted by Guerin and Matt Cullen. And then finally, Guerin from Chara and Matt Cullen. 3-0 was our final score. Alright, so nice little homestead there. We managed to get 2 wins. Ron Francis has accomplished 1,500 points. He did that against Calgary. He got an assist. 37 years old, still 3.5 stars. Adam Graves extended his goal streak to 5. He now plays in Anaheim and had a goal, of course, against Nashville. Marian Osa. You would think that, you know, in 2000 or even in 2020, we would probably just plug an IV in Marian Osa if he's dehydrated and get that fixed real quick. I know that when I got food poisoning, which is really, I got really dehydrated, which is really bad for me because I am a type 1 diabetic, so dehydration can affect my kidneys a little bit harder than for, you know, normal people. So they did plug me with a bunch of IVs in the hospital to get me back on track real fast. And if they did that for me, I'm sure they would do it for Marian Osa. He's worth probably a few more millions than me. Alright, Adam Graves extends his goal streak to 6 games, scored again, this time against Chicago. No additional missed time for Los Angeles. Rob Blake, not suspended, 30 years old, still a 4-star player. And Marian Osa is fine. And it is a great sight to see. And we are going to be playing on the road now against the Trashers, who is the worst team in the league, in the East. Not sure, but, well, with 4 points potentially in the league. So they are 2-9, and we already beat them once this year. We won 3-2 at home. So let's see if we can beat them on the road this time. We're going with Mike Dunham again. They are going with Cujo, Curtis Joseph. So okay, so apparently it's all or nothing for the Trashers, for Curtis Joseph, because he has both wins for the Trashers, and both of them were shutouts. So he either completely shuts down the opposition and gets a win, or he loses. If he allows a goal, that's it. It's a done game. All right, so let's sim this. And we won 3-1. Alright, we're on a nice little streak now, so I might not fire Roger Nielsen. We got 34 shots on goal. Atlanta got only 19. Yashin was our first star of the game. He had 2 goals. Valery Kamiensky for Atlanta was a second star with a goal, and Sami Salo third star with 2 assists. So Alexei Yashin opened the scoring in the first from Alfredson and Salo. Then Kamiensky tied the game, but shortly after, Alexei Yashin would score from Dackel and McCabe. It was 2-1 Ottawa at that point. Then in the third, Bill Guerin from Sami Salo and Brian Berard, and we would win 3-1. So you know who's been a little bit quiet since I started this video? Joe Nieuwendyk. I don't like that. He's one of my stars. I need for him to be playing a little bit better than that, even though we're winning. I'm not happy. Strong night for Theo Fleury. He had a hat-trick, 3 goals against the Wild. Pretty good game. Alright, so we are playing in Boston. Boston is now at top of our division. So they overtook over Montreal. They are 9-6. We are 8-6. And we lost the only game we have played so far this year against Boston. It was in Boston, and we lost 4-1. So hopefully we can avenge that loss now that we've kind of put our shit back together. Alright, so we are going with Mike Dunham always, and we're facing Thomas Vokoun. And we won 42. Another pretty good game. And Boston did outshoot us in that one too, 44-35. Andreas Dackel was the first star, he had 2 assists. Ted Donato was the second star with a goal, and Mike Dunham for us was the third star, 42 saves. That's pretty impressive. So Boston opened up the scoring in the first, but then Joe Thornton would tie it up on the power play from Datsuk and Surrey, and then Alfredson from Guerin and Andreas Dackel. We were up 2-1 after one. Then Alfredson scored in the second on the power play from Yashin and Osa, 3-1 Ottawa. Then Brian McCabe scored in an empty net from Sillinger and Andreas Dackel. It was 4-1, and then 8 seconds later, Ted Donato would score, but it was too little too late, and it was 4-2. Final score. Brett Hull has arrived at 1,000 games played, 36 years old, 3.5 stars still, and he had a goal against Colorado. Suspension over for Nathan Dempsey. He plays in St. Louis as well. All right. Alright, now we are playing the Philadelphia Flyers on the road in Philadelphia. We already played in Philadelphia, and we actually won 7-4. If I believe correctly, that was either our first win of the season or one of our first ones. I remember we needed that one. So 7-4 was that final score. Philadelphia is 7-8-1. They're struggling a little bit. They are 10th in the East. We are 7th, but we are on a roll. We still haven't lost this month. And we are going with Mike Dunham. Why not? He's on the tier. Roman Czechmanik is going to be playing for Philadelphia in net. They're not going with Jimmy McLennan, who had like that awesome season 2 years ago. And we won again, 3-1. So we're not scoring a ton of goals, but we're playing pretty well defensively, and we're not allowing much. So we outshot the Flyers 45-23 this time. Brian Berard was the first star of the game. He had a goal and an assist. Mark Recchi was the second star. He had an assist. And Joe Nieuwendyk was the third star with 2 assists. So there was no scoring until the second period. Willie Mitchell for Philadelphia opened the scoring, but then Andreas Dackel tied it 24 seconds later from Berard and Datsuk, and then Sheldon Surrey from Joe Nieuwendyk. It was 2-1 for the Sens after 2. Then in the third period, 4 seconds in, Brian Berard on the power play from Joe Nieuwendyk. Probably a snipe from the blue line or something. It was 3-1 Ottawa. And that's how we won. That was the story of how we won this game. Theo Fleury extends his goal streak to 5 games. He had a goal against Tampa Bay. Alright, so we are now playing against Carolina in Carolina. Carolina Hurricanes are struggling. They are 4-9-2. They have 10 points. They are 13th in the East, so they are struggling. It's going to be a home and home against them. There's going to be 4 days in between games still. So we're playing in Carolina now. We're back in 4 days at home against them. And it's going to be a 4-game streak at home after that. So we have not played the Hurricanes so far this year, so let's take a look at their lineup here. So injury list, Dan Heinold is on the injured list, so he's not going to play. They still have Sean Burke in net with Marc Denis as the backup, so not too bad, I guess. Sean Burke is declining in ability. I remember that he used to be a 4-star goaltender, and now he's a 3-star goaltender. Chris Pronger still plays there. 26, still pretty good. 3.5 stars. I have a problem with saying 3.5 stars for some reason. That's a couple times I've stumbled on that. Brian Marchment, Rich Pilon, Sasha Gotch, Paul Laus, Tommy Shodin, and Rushdon Saliandi. Wow, this is not a D that's made for finesse. This is a D that's there to crush your face on the boards. I mean, Pronger, Marchment, Pilon, Sasha Gotch, Paul Laus. Okay, Tommy Shodin, maybe not. Rushdon Saliandi, those are all defensive defensemen that are like punishers for the most part. I'm scared to send my guys. They're not very talented though, so that D overall is pretty weak. Pavel Demitra, Craig Adams, Jeff Sanderson, Vladimir Wojtek, Antti Tormena. How many ex-Sens are you going to dress? Wow. Andrew Castles, Greg Johnson, Mikael Nylander, Jeff O'Neill, Pat Verbeek, Dixon Ward, Fernando Pisani, Tommy Westland, and Aaron Asham. Fernando Pisani that had like 1 or 2 really good seasons, and then he completely fell off the surface of the world. Alright, so yeah, that's not a really great team. I hope for a win. It's on the road. It's probably going to be a little bit tougher in their building. We're going to go with Tim Thomas in that one. They're going to go with Sean Burke. And we won 4-1. All right. I'll take it. So we outshot them 37-25. Daniel Alfredson was the first star. He had a goal and 2 assists. Marian Osa was the second star. He had 2 goals. And Alexei Yashin was the third star with an assist. So we looked pretty good again. Marian Osa scored twice in the first period, both on the power play. So the first one from Daniel Alfredson and the second one from Alfredson and Matt Cullen. So it was 2-0 Sens after one. Then we scored twice again in the second. Datsuk from Thornton and Yashin, and Alfredson from Amerdick and Brian McCabe. It was 4-0 Sens. And then 8:25 in the third, Chris Pronger scored, so Tim Thomas didn't get a shutout. All right. Oh, Chris Pronger is suspended, so he did something near the end of that game because he scored in the third. So Chris Pronger is suspended for 3 games. Oh, I guess it was because he hurt Johnny Van Dyke. So Johnny Van Dyke is day-to-day with a sore elbow. All right, so hopefully he's not going to miss too much time. So the 3.5 star players, Johnny Van Dyke. No, he's hurt. No, is he? Oh, he's hurt. Or 1 to 2 weeks. I should recall somebody. God, I didn't need that. I know he wasn't playing the best, but I still need Johnny Van Dyke on the team. Alright, Chas Levy has 2 points in 12 games, 7 points in 14, and 7 points in 9. I guess Viborny gets called back up yet again. Alright, so we have a few days here in between. Shane Knighty available. I'm claiming him. Yes, part of it is because he played in this for the Sens in real life, but I have very few players in the minors, so... Alright, Theo Fleury extends his goal streak to 6 games. He had a goal and an assist against Buffalo. Alright, and then we have a trade proposal from Nashville who's offering me Bob Bugner for Brad Larson. Yeah, you know what? I'm thinking about it. Bugner is 29. Brad Larson is 23. I'm gonna reject it for now. I thought about it. Mostly because I'm really short on forwards, and I seem to have a lot of defensemen. So, I'm not sure that Bob Bugner is a big upgrade over what I have. So, yeah, I guess I passed on it. Montreal Canadiens defenseman Eric Desjardins was suspended for 3 games. Pavel Dimitra has a good game right before playing against... so I guess Carolina... It wasn't a home and home for Carolina, just for us, because they played in Florida yesterday, or against Florida. And Pavel Dimitra got 3 goals and an assist. Pretty good little game for Pavel Dimitra. And now we're playing Carolina again. So now they are 5-10-2. Alright, let's see if we can beat them at home. So they're going with Sean Burke. We are going with Mike Dunham. And we won 4-3. Another good game for us. We outshot them 38-35. Zdeno Chara was the first star. Zdeno Chara seems to have been having a pretty good month so far. So he was the first star with 2 assists. Jeff Sanderson, second star with an assist. And Daniel Alfredson was the third star with a goal and 2 assists. So we traded a couple goals in the first period. So... Daniel Alfredson scored 29 seconds in from Chara and Alexei Yashin, but 12 seconds later, Pat Verbeek tied it up. And then, 22 seconds later, Martin Osa scored from Alfredson and Yashin. It was 2-1 for us, and then Dimitra scored later. It was tied at 2 after 1. Then we took a 4-2 lead in the second with Yashin on the power play from Alfredson, and then Pavel Datsyuk from Sheldon Souris and Zdeno Chara. And then Paul Laus scored for Carolina, and it was 4-3 at that point, and it stayed that way. So a 4-3 win for us. We are now 12-6. We are still undefeated in November as well. Excellent passing leads to productive night for Pierre Turgeon, still playing with the Islanders. He had a goal and 4 assists against the Kings. Pretty good game for Pierre. Alright. Oh, apparently Robert Cron got hurt as well. They just don't tell me because they probably think I don't care. And now we are going to be facing the Florida Panthers, who are first in their division with 19 points. Good for them. They are 9-7-1, and we won the first game against them in Florida 3-2. So, alright, so we won 3-2 there in Florida. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this could be our 10th win in a row if we win against Florida. Alright, so they are sending John Van Beesbrook in net. Again, it looks like he's not the starter anymore. And Mike Dunham for us. Why not? He's been impeccable. And we won 7-1. 10 straight wins for the Ottawa Senators. That's the first time this has happened in that universe, I am pretty certain. We outshot them 46-24. Marian Osa was the first star of the game. He had a goal and 3 assists. Sheldon Surrey was the second star with 3 assists, and Daniel Alfredson was the third star with a goal and 2 assists. And the Panthers did score first. They made it 1-0 in the first, short-handed, but then David Viborny tied it, assisted by Andreas Dackel. And then in the second, we would score 3 times. Thornton from Surrey and Shara, and then Brian Berard from Daniel Alfredson and Marian Osa, and then Marian Osa from Daniel Alfredson and Brian Berard. It was 41 after 2, and then we would score 3 more goals in the third. Mike Salinger, his first of the season, from Surrey and Berard, then Daniel Alfredson on the power play from Surrey and Marian Osa, and Sammy Salo from Alexei Yashin and Marian Osa. Pretty good game again. I like it. Alright, Chris Pronger's suspension has ended. He's back in the lineup. Strong night for Sergei Fyodorov in Detroit. He's 30 now. And he had 3 goals and an assist against Nashville. Pretty good little game there. Kevin Hatcher in Washington has been suspended. He's going to miss 5 games. Kevin Hatcher's slowing down a little bit. He's 34 and he's only a star and a half player anymore. All right. All good here. All right, next game's gonna be against Boston, and it's tomorrow. All right, no news, and we are facing Boston. So we're 1-1 against Boston now. We won the last game earlier this month, 42. And they are 11-7-1 for 23 points. We have 26 points. We are atop of the division at this point. Let's win. Can we make it 11 in a row? So Thomas Vokoun starts in net for Boston. We are going with Mike Dunham. And it's another win. 11 in a row. 2-1. So they're not all shellackings, but they're all W's. That's what matters. We completely outshot them 41-15. Andreas Dackel was the first star. He had a goal. Thomas Vokoun, despite the loss, was the second star with 39 saves. And then Mariusz Czerkawski for Boston scored their goal and got the third star. Czerkawski actually opened the scoring, 1-0 Boston, but then Andreas Dackel scored from Mike Fisher. It was tied at 1 after 1. And then in the third period, 30 seconds in, Sheldon Surrey scored from Yashin and Osa, and 2-1 Senators was the final score. Pretty impressive game. Suspension over for Eric Desjardins in Montreal. He is back to the lineup. Teemu Selanne has a strong game. He had a hat-trick, 3 goals against Chicago. Wow, Teemu Selanne is already 30 years old. I guess I've been playing for a while. Alexei Zamnov has a good game in that same game. He had 4 assists. Pretty good. Robert Cron ahead of schedule. Okay, that's good. Johnny Van Dyke. Okay, I can use him back too. Probably more him than Robert Cron, to be honest. And we are about to face the Edmonton Oilers. Ray Bourque has reached 1,500 games played. That one was played against Detroit. He was held scoreless, 39 years old for the veteran Ray Bourque. Maybe Boston's going to trade him to the Avalanche to let him win a cup. Or maybe to the Senators to win a cup. Wink, wink. New Jersey's Peter Sikora is suspended. He's going to miss 3 games. Ooh, that's gonna hurt the Islanders. Daryl Sidor is hurt. He's gonna miss 4 months with a ulnar collateral ligament, torn ulnar collateral ligament. All right, so Daryl Sidor is not a superstar, but he's a decent defenseman. Now he's gone for 4 months. Doug Gilmour played in 1,250 games. Played against the Oilers. 2 assists for him in that game, 2 to celebrate. Doug Gilmour starting to slow down. 37 years old, 2.5 stars. So in that same game, passes were on point for Miroslav Shotan, who had 4 assists. And Robert Cron is almost back. Alright, so we have 4 games left in November. Feels like it's been going pretty fast. This game is going to be against Edmonton at home. Edmonton is 9-11-4, so they're not doing too hot right now. Let's see. Alright, they have Benisek and Patrick Travers, who had like the Rocky Balboa in Rocky 4 training thing going. So they're both hurt. They're not going to be playing. In net, they have Roman Turek and Mathieu Garon, Eric Kearns, Kim Janssen, Andy Sutton. Oh yeah, that's... Okay, we played them in the preseason. They have that guy that I'm not super familiar with. Flash. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. I am very sorry. I don't mean to massacre anybody's name. Luke Richardson, Mike Moteau, Lonnie Loach, still around. Scott Malbay, Miroslav Shotan, Ryan Smith, Beranek, Harnett, Richie, Devereaux, McCleary, Shamira, Bugberger, Chris Clark, Kirk Malby, Joe Murphy, and Sean Orkoff. So, yeah, that's not a super strong lineup. Couple decent players, but not overly strong. Roman Turek in net for Edmonton. We're going with Mike Dunham. And we won again. That's what, 12 straight now? Okay. Let's see here. We outshot them 34-16. Wow, we're pretty good at limiting shots on goals. Or at suppressing shots. Oh god, all of those games that I played at home, I forgot to check the attendance. I'm very sorry. It was probably low anyway, so don't worry about it too much. But I did forget. I was carried away with that winning streak. I cannot believe it. I don't think in all my years of playing this game, I don't think I have ever had a 12 game winning streak ever. So Matt Cullen was the first star. He had 2 assists. Ryan Smith was the second star. He had a goal. And Daniel Alfredson was the third star with a goal and an assist. There were 11,828 people in attendance for this game. Ryan Smith scored on the power play in the first period. It was 1-0 for the Oilers after 1. And then we scored twice in the second period, both times on the power play. First one, Sheldon Surrey from Matt Cullen and Daniel Alfredson. And then Alfredson from Yashin and Matt Cullen. And 2-1 is how it ended. Alright, Robert Cron is back from injury. That's good. Now we're playing our next game in Toronto tomorrow. Ulf Dallin has scored 300 goals in his career. He is 33 years old. He scored a goal against Columbus. Good job for Ulf. Chris Chelios has scored 900 points. So 2 assists against the Wild. 38 years old. Is he going to get to 1,000? I don't know. Strong game for Mario Lemieux. He had 3 goals for a hat-trick against Philadelphia. Still a 5-star player for Lemieux. 35 years old. Alright, and now we are playing the Leafs. We are 1-1 against the Leafs so far this year. We have won 4-1 at home, but lost 7-3 in Toronto. So we definitely want to avenge that Disappointing loss. Embarrassing loss. 7-3. We're going with Mike Dunham. They are going with Steve Shields. And we lost. We did not manage to have a perfect month. It would have been pretty awesome. I guess we cannot win them all, so we lost 3-2 against the Leafs. First loss this month. First loss in 13 games. That's pretty special. We outshot them 39-26. Yannick Tremblay was the first star of the game. He had a goal and an assist. Sheldon Surrey was the second star. He had a goal and an assist as well. And Steve Shields was the third star, 37 saves. Sheldon Surrey was the first to score a goal. He was assisted by Yashin and Alfredson. And then Alfredson scored from Yashin and Surrey. It was 2-0 for the Sens. And then Wendell Clark, super unfitted for several years, Wendell Clark managed to carry his body mass around and scored a goal. It was 2-1 for us after 1. And then the Leafs scored twice in the third, and we lost 3-2. I forgot how losing feels like. It sucks. Mike Modano lights the lamp. He had 4 goals against Columbus. Good game for Mike Modano. Alright. And Joe Nieuwendyk should be back soon. And now we are playing on the road again at Madison Square Garden against the Rangers. So the Rangers have turned it around a little bit as well during the month of November. We did beat them earlier in the month, but they are now 10-8-4. So they're kind of on a streak too. We beat them 3-2 at home. We're going to now play them at Madison Square Garden. Rangers are now 8 in the East. We're going to give Tim Thomas a shot. He's going to face Mike Richter. And we won 4-1. So another pretty good game for us. We outshot them 34-28. Pavel Datsyuk was the first star of that game. He had 2 goals and an assist. Joe Thornton was the second star with 2 assists. And Zdeno Chara was the third star with a goal. Alright. So no scoring in the first. Then Pavel Datsyuk scored on the power play, assisted by Joe Thornton and Sheldon Surrey. So it was 1-0 for us after 2. And then the rest of the goals were scored in the third period. So Datsyuk on the power play from Sheldon Surrey and Joe Thornton. And then it was 2-0. Then Kavasha scored short-handed to make it 2-1. And then on that same power play, I'm assuming Yashin scored on the power play from Datsyuk. And then Chara scored in an empty net from Roman Hamrlik. And Brian Leach is not suspended. Apparently he did something in that game against us. Alright, Nieuwendyk is ready. Can I get him back? Yes, I can. Welcome back, Joe Nieuwendyk. And I'm moving Viborny yet again down. Alright. We are going to be facing the Buffalo Sabres now tomorrow. And that's going to be the first time this season. We'll get to see how Patrick Marleau is doing over there. Steve Yzerman has recorded 700 goals in his career. A goal and 2 assists against Chicago. 35 years old, Steve Yzerman. Alright, playing the Buffalo Sabres. Buffalo is still struggling this year. They are 5-9-7. Lots of ties. Alright, so Philippe Boucher is hurt on D, so he's not going to be playing this game. They have Marty Biron in net and Dominik Hasek. Grant Ledyard, oh my god, he's still playing, he's 39. Marty McSorley, Ronnie Sundin, Keith Carney, Petar Svoboda is 34, he's not too... Marty McSorley is 37, that D is old. Skopintsev is 29. Actually, Skopintsev is the youngest of their defensemen, he's 29. Dave Andreychuk is still there. God, that's why they're not that great. They have a lot of really old players. Shane Corson, Marty Murray, Brad May, Brian Adams, Rem Murray, Patrick Marleau moved to center with them. How good is he so far this year? 5 points in 16 games. Not great, but he's only 21. Dave Gagne, 35 years old. Connor Wilchuk, Pat LaFontaine, 35 years old. Afina Genov, Donald Audit. Bergquist is still playing, he's 38. Mark Gregg and Alexander McGinney. Yeah, this is a very old team. They might have problems against our young legs. They're going to send Dominik Hasek in net. We're going to go with Mike Dunham. And it's a 1-1 tie. Alright, I guess I'll take it. First tie of the season. Oh boy. Yeah, we really gave it to them. 45-14 for the shots. Datsuk was the first star. He had an assist. Patrick Marleau was the second star. He had an assist. And Daniel Alfredson was the third star with a goal. We had 12,659 people in attendance in Ottawa today. And Daniel Alfredson scored in the first on the power play from McCabe and Datsuk. And then Brad May tied it up in the first. It was 1-1. Would stay that way. Dominik Hasek played a great game. And nobody won. Ooh, bad news for Flames. Al McInnes is injured against Nashville. He's going to miss 4 months with a torn thigh muscle. 37 years old veteran Al McInnes got hurt. That's not good. The Flames are already not doing very well this year. They didn't need that. And Kelly Rudy in LA played in his 800th game. And it was a tie against New York. The Rangers. Good job. Alright, we are going to sim until December 1st. Alright, Steve Yzerman has tallied 1,250 games played. That was, and he had an assist against Atlanta. So Stevie Y just reached a couple milestones. A night to remember for Chris Simon, who had a hat-trick against the Flyers, 3 goals. Chris Simon sporting the mullet and scoring goals. Petar Sikora back from suspension in New Jersey. That's good for them. He's probably more useful in the lineup than in the press box. And we are now on December 1st. Brian Holzinger is available. I'm claiming him. There you go. I just need a few forwards in my system. Yui Krupp has tallied 1,000 games played. Now plays for Nashville, and he celebrated with an assist. John Leclerc has a good game. He had 4 assists against the Canucks. That's pretty good. All right. All right, so the players of the month were Alexei Zamnov of Phoenix and Martin Brochu of Tampa Bay. Wow. I guess he is. He does have 4 shutouts this season, so good for him. So we are going to go ahead and I'm just going to save now just in case. Alright, so let's see. In the East here, we are second with 3 points, so obviously we are first in our division. Montreal has 30, so they are in 6th, so they are 3 points back on us, and we have 2 games on too. Of course, the month we just had was pretty spectacular. I'm pretty happy with it, obviously. It's fun to win. Who knew that it is fun to win games? Alright, so in the East we saw what it looks like. In the West, Atlanta has 9 points. Yeah, they are the worst team in the league. In the West we have Detroit first by a wide margin. They only have 4 losses this year. Wow, that is crazy. They're going to have another crazy good year. So Detroit, Colorado, LA, Anaheim, Phoenix, Dallas, San Jose, and Edmonton. So those are the top 8 teams. St. Louis Blues doing a little bit better than they have in the past. Canucks are really struggling. So yeah, that's tough for them. Alright, as far as points go, Yashin is above a point per game. He has 28 points in 24 games. Osa 27 in 24. Alfredson 22 in 19. And now Sheldon Surrey is my best defenseman offensively. He has 21 points in 24 games. That is pretty good. Thornton 17 in 24. That's not bad. 13 in 24 for Datsuk. Nieuwendyk missed a bunch of games. He's at 7 and 17 now. So Joe Nieuwendyk is slowing down. This is not good news. I might need to look for a suitable offensive center soon. And then it dwindles down from there. But yeah, Yashin is soaring. And now in the entire league, we have Steve Yzerman is first for goals scored. He has 20 goals. And then Lidstrom is the best passer. He has 26 assists. And then for the points, Yzerman 46 is way ahead. And then Lidstrom has 37 and he's second. And we don't have anybody in the top 12. Alright, so it looks pretty good. So awesome month, ladies and gentlemen. We are back where I was expecting us to be. So 16, 7 and 1 after 2 months. That's pretty good. We are looking great. We just need to continue playing like that. I was very disappointed with the first month, but obviously we completely turned that around in November. So next video is going to be December. Hopefully Christmas brings us joy with many more wins. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and thank you for tuning in. If you've liked the video, please feel free to like and subscribe. That's always appreciated. And until I roll this game again, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.